Okay, I'm going to show you guys a little technique today. This is my head. I kept blowing head gaskets. I took it down, had it decked. It left a lot of machine marks that I was scared it wouldn't seal good. What I'm fixing to show you how to do, you could use it, you know, maybe you just did the head. This would be a good idea or a good way to clean the head up, plus find any low spots if you need it. But like I said, I was cleaning the machine marks off. I've actually already done a 400 grit and an 800 grit, and I've got 1,000 grit paper that I'm going to use on it. Techniques are all the same. This is not my idea. This is somebody else's told me about this, and it works good. And you can cut away any of these marks and stuff pretty quick with it. Okay, the first thing you need is a piece of granite or a thick piece of plastic. I went to Lowe's and got a big 18 by 18 piece of granite. Why do you need that? You need something really flat and hard and heavy that won't move, okay? Next thing you're going to need is some sandpaper like you use in automotive applications that you can put some water on. Next thing is some Super 77 adhesive. Spray it right on the granite, right in the middle. Spray some on the sheet of sandpaper. Place your sandpaper there. Alright, get it all flat. Need a little bit of water and a little bit of soap. I'm just using regular hand soap. Then I'm going to work the soap around on the paper, okay? Now, set your head down. You don't want to try to put any pressure on it. You want to keep it as flat as possible and start working it around. Now, I have done this, turn it, worked it, and go back and forth so you don't keep the same pattern. I turn it a quarter or actually an eighth of the way at a time, back and forth. And then, like I said, I'm making some circle motions. When it gets whether it's kind of dry and don't want to move, get your water back on it. Oh, and you will tear your paper if you aren't careful. So I'm going to stay away from where I just tore it. Like I said, I did this with 400 grit, 2 times 800 grit, and now 1,000 to finish it up. I had some machine marks on mine, and there was one left that I wanted to get out on the exhaust side here, and it is now gone. You could keep doing this, but the main thing is you want it as slick as possible so that your gasket seals. Okay, now mine wind up pretty slick. What I was going to say is by doing that on a head, that whether you're just taking it off this and rebuild, when you do that, you might find a low spot on there because the sandpaper won't touch it. And what I would do is use that 400 grit paper and work it around with the soap and the water until I got it to where it would touch in all locations. Then move up to an 800 and maybe the 1,000. 1,000's kind of pushing it. I mean, this surface here now, I actually can look down in it and see a reflection. I mean, so it's pretty darn slick. But you don't want any imperfections in this head to seal on. Now, another suggestion a friend of mine told me is here on the head bolts. He said right on the edges, said take a chamfer bit or like a countersink bit and chamfer these head bolt holes. Now, he gave me a good explanation for it. I believe him, so I'm going to do it. But basically, is if a bolt gets too close or something gets here, that it can deform right on the edge and pick the head up there a little bit. What I didn't realize, and probably you don't either, that a head and a cylinder actually moves around a little bit and it bounces. Believe it or not, a head bounces on a cylinder every time. I mean, this is something you couldn't see without maybe the aid of a microscope. The point is, it actually bounces. So we need to kind of keep this as slick as possible. This little technique somebody else taught me, thought I'd pass it on to you guys.